Tonight is July 30th, and this is a Q&A session for our D&D campaign, Dungeons and Drogans. You guys out there in internet land have asked us some questions. Tonight, we have our full panel of players here. We're going to have a roundtable Q&A session where we answer your queries.
People actually asked us questions?
Well, I'll just start right off and say that, yes, I am cooler than everyone else.
That's a lie.
I can't teach you how to be that way.
I know how we can settle this dispute. The Scottish way. We must have a drinking contest.
Oh, I thought you were going to pull up your kilt and compare.
Oh,
Never.
Man, that is wrong.
I don't wear such things.
I'm down.
You don't
for
wear
either of
anything?
those.
No, I'm sitting here completely naked with you guys.
Hey,
Alright, well, that's all of our questions asked. Answered, sorry. It's amazing how many people wanted to know if Steven plays naked.
I'm still surprised people put up with my voice, because I sure as hell don't.
So, first up was a real ass of a question from our dear old real-life friend, Monkeyhood, who wanted to ask, in your opinion, who has the worst role-playing combat attendance? Because I don't feel that's a very fair question, I'm going to flip it around and say, in your opinion, who has the best? With an asterisk on the attendance. For the attendance, let's make it worse. So let's start with that one. In your opinion, who has the relatively worst attendance? Doug, go.
Relatively worst attendance? I've never seen your character, CJ.
His characters are there almost every combat. In fact, they are there every combat.
Yeah, they're the ones that kick our ass.
Well, then I think CJ's a terrible team player.
Answer the question.
Oh, who has the best combat attendance? Like, just showing up?
What? No, not combat. Just in your opinion, who has the relatively worst attendance? There's no combat in that question.
So, is this even an opinion? Or is it just like, who have I noticed?
Yeah, it's a dumb question. I'll give you that. It's what is your opinion of the facts you've observed? How well do you remember how bad other people's attendance is?
I'm gonna go with Minecraft on this one. Oh wait, no, they weren't there for that, were they?
No, the YouTube listeners were not there for that.
Well, I guess it's Steven or Dave. I'm not a counter of days.
Alright then, let's throw it to Dave.
I think it's either me or Steven, yeah.
Steven?
Oh, it's definitely me. Because I'm usually at my mom's or I keep falling asleep. Because I love sleep.
Nothing to do with your mother.
No, those two things are completely unrelated.
John? Your opinion?
Yeah, it's one of those two, because I know sometimes Steven was there, then Dave wasn't there, then Dave was there, then Steven wasn't there, so I really don't know. It's between those two for sure, though.
Nick?
It's definitely Steven.
Do I get a prize for this? Like a cookie?
You get the Gump Award.
Oh, not another one.
I'll send you a cookie.
Wait, you actually got one of those in tow?
Yeah, they gave it to me when I became SO. That's the only medal they friggin' gave me, and it pissed me off. For all that work, but that's completely unrelated, so I'm gonna stop that.
Alright, and then I guess that comes to me for the official answer, because I do keep strict attendance records, or at least I started to maybe about a year ago or so. So, attendance expressed as a percentage, with 100% being you've attended every session, and 50% being you've only attended half the sessions. We have, at the top of the list, Doug with 83%.
Yeah!
Then it goes to John with 82, very close. Nick with 81.
Jeez, wow.
What the hell? I think we need a recount.
Drum roll for the next one.
Dave wants a recount on my Excel sheet. Next comes at 60%. Dave.
Ah, I knew.
That's
get
a
to give a speech?
21% drop.
Wow, you guys are never there.
And then we have Steven with 43%.
Ah, win.
Whoa,
Steven
man.
for president.
He's there only half as often as top 3.
I keep telling I fall asleep because I watch TV. You know, I live this busy life of video gaming and eating, so I need my sleep.
You are not helping your case.
I'm not trying to help my case. I don't care.
Alright, so, next question. In your opinion, who has the relatively best RP? Doug.
You mean like riot points from League of Legends?
Yes.
Best RP.
I think I got some for my birthday.
What the hell is going on?
I would probably, since I can't count myself.
The question does not stipulate apart from yourself, so...
No, I do consider myself lacking. I would go with you, CJ. Although you might possibly be exempt because it's sort of in your job requirements. Although you do a bang-up job, I must say. Otherwise, if we're just going with characters, not overlords, my dear brother is quite good. He's a lot of fun to RP with. I think we have good RP chemistry, and he's just he seems to be the one that tries the hardest out of all of us, and it shows in the quality.
That's really not saying much.
Over.
Alright, thanks, Doug. Dave.
Yeah, I agree. I would say Coltane is the best.
Wait, what about me?
Nick sucks, but Coltane is good.
Damn it!
Your RP is so good that Dave believes you are your character.
I always
Yeah.
lose out to my character.
Didn't you see in your Facebook page I said happy birthday,
Taking
Coltane?
over. So Nick's.
That was pretty funny, actually.
Alright, let's throw the question to Steven.
Considering I've been here, what, 43% of the time? I'm gonna say Nick.
Pokemon.
You said Nick, right?
Yeah.
Alright, John.
Yeah, Doug does have some good RP skills, but I think Nick tops it off. I'm also never gonna forget the "We are good people" from Doug's classic wreckage line.
I thought you were gonna say Nick did that.
And Nick.
Well, I'm not gonna say myself, 'cause I don't have that kind of ego, but I personally think that Doug's RP is the best because of his portrayal of wreckage. Just pure gold and lots of fun. Although I have to give him bonus points for kicking my character in the balls. That was a real brotherly moment. Oddly reminiscent of real life.
He kicked you in the balls?
And then punched him, I think. For the record, I think Wreckage did bring out the best RP in me. Like, I do prefer Winter as a character. I think he's more useful to the team. But he's not as easy to roleplay as Wreckage was.
Yeah, I think some great points were brought up there. I think Wreckage's character was really brought out, or some form of Wreckage's character, some incarnation of it was brought out, in large part thanks to Doug. Yeah, I definitely think Nick is among the best, and Doug, when you can riff off, is that an expression? Anyway.
I usually do that in my alone time, thank you. But if it's what the fans want...
Basically, when Wintier can interact with Coltane, I think that brings out some of Wintier's best RP. I think you guys still have some great chemistry together, which is probably in large part because you're brothers, so you already have that pre-established relationship and that ease at being able to communicate with each other very easily, but it definitely makes for entertaining RP.
You just said something redundant there.
Probably.
You said ease of being able to communicate with each other easily.
Well, way to go pointing that out.
I'm too tired to care. Leave me alone.
You know, just for that, maybe we'll pretend that your attendance was at 44%.
If I can tag along on what I think CJ was saying, if you were talking about Nick and I having the chemistry in the role playing...
Please don't say that with an accent, because it sounds nasty.
Like, I don't know if it's completely because because we're brothers. I mean, for sure that's a part of it. We've been playing together for a long time, all sorts of games. But I think just Nick in general is a really easy guy to interact with. Um, he goes along with a lot of stuff, and like, no offense to everyone else, but I just don't think the other players put in the imaginative effort that Nick puts in. So it's not necessarily a brother thing. It's a charisma thing.
He's got a better charisma than me. I demand a reroll.
It's too bad my wisdom is like 6.
Mine's something. I don't know.
So the next question is, who has the relatively best combat? Which I presume to mean the best performance in combat? Doug?
You said it.
Alright, so Doug's going with himself. Dave?
What do you mean by combat? Like, as in kills, or like ability to like lead?
It's not what I mean, it's what Willie meant. And presumably, I don't think it's an issue of leading, I think it's just who overall, I guess, makes the best decisions in combat, or...
Who contributes more, maybe?
Again, this is not on a character basis, I'm pretty sure this is on a player basis.
In that case, probably Nick.
Alright, Steven?
I'm gonna say Nick too, because I'm pretty sure I've missed the majority of the combat.
John?
Yeah, if you would phrase it like that, I would say Nick too, because Nick does give a lot of suggestions to us as to what to attack and stuff.
The jelly was pretty good too.
Oh, God.
Nick?
Well, I certainly know when to run away and leave my team to die, so I would have to vote for myself there.
I forgot about that, you bastard.
Alright, I'm gonna go against the grain here, not to knock Nick's combat prowess, but I'm going for John here. And allow me to explain. John, obviously, as we all know, has terrible luck in combat, but I believe the decisions he makes, and this is not just based on this campaign, but John and I go back D&D wise. John has, I think, of all the players here, John has the most experience in terms of both years playing and just overall sessions played. I'm pretty sure there was a time he'd be playing on a daily basis with his neighbors and his brother. And I think over time all that has accumulated into what is presently a very tactically sound player. I think from a wargaming aspect, John is a very strong player. I've seen him in other campaigns make, and continue to make very good decisions in combat. So, yeah, I'm going for John.
It's just too bad he never rolls above a 6. And that's not his fault. He's just the most cursed person I know from D&D experience, which is not a lot, but still.
Maybe you should just make a blind character so we can excuse it.
He's also got the balls to do some really entertaining stuff in battle, even if it ends poorly.
Roll a d20 right now and see what you get.
Well, I guarantee it'll be below 6.
Oh my god! Wow. Oh my god. Alright. Hey, CJ. In order to accommodate John, can we invert his roll so that a 1 becomes a 20 and, a 2 becomes a 19?
Yeah, because for the record, he just rolled a 1, for anyone listening.
Anyway, next question. What do you think of the other PCs in your group? Doug.
Don't answer this one, bro.
It's a trap.
Oh, he hates everyone.
They're a terribly handsome bunch of fellows. I'd love to get drunk with them.
Alright, Dave.
Well, when everyone is not asleep, they're very good. But when they do fall asleep, sometimes it can be annoying, I guess. Yes.
So the question was, what do you think of the other PCs in your group?
Yeah. I presume that when
I'll repeat the question.
I presume that when the player actually falls asleep, the character falls asleep as well. Hence, they don't do anything.
Alright, Steven?
I'm pretty sure they're all plotting to kill me, although I'm not sure why yet.
You realize that none of the players left are an original member of the group, right? Maybe
I-
that's why.
Excuse me.
Only Coltane's
What?
the original. I don't. They're
Yeah,
fine.
He was the
Coltane's still
last-
around.
Yeah, exactly.
They're amusing. That's the important thing.
Alright, John?
They're a good bunch of fellows. I don't know. I can't answer that question.
I don't understand why this question is so difficult. I mean, it's essentially a summed up version of what do you think of Coltane? What do you think of Wintier? What do you think of Morgan, or whatever her name is?
Morgan.
And Nick.
Okay, well, we haven't exactly had much time to get to know Morgan and Wrecked. Wintier, he's a bit of an ass, but he's useful, so I'll take him. And, that other one there, what's her name?
Autumn.
Sorrow.
Sorrow,
Never
yes.
mind.
Yes, Sorrow. She burns stuff, it's cool. And she's full of useful information that she stole from her stupid employer. So, yeah. I know the older PCs, Wreckage was obviously just a fun character to know and to interact with. Autumn was incredibly silent. And basically all of John's characters were just awesome.
Alright, thanks Nick for the one useful answer. I'm gonna start with you from now on to set a tone of useful answers.
The good answer than the rest of us being retards.
Alright, if you can choose an NPC to join your party, which would it be, Nick?
Okay, well, definitely not Calarel, because he was an incompetent fool. Absolutely the slime. If that slime was on our side, we would destroy everything. But is it a character? I don't know. That's the hard part.
Alright, John?
Oh my god, hands down, Splug. It's the most awesome NPC I've ever met in like any campaign. Like just have him follow around like a little slave. I don't know if we went back for him, if he's dead, if he's alive, if he's still locked up in a cage. I want him in our team as a mule or something. He's so awesome.
I'm pretty sure he's dead.
He died, didn't he? I'm pretty sure CJ told us he died because we left him locked up somewhere.
He was
We
kind of
can
like
resurrect him.
we just abused.
Do you think he really wants back into his miserable, pathetic life?
Doesn't matter. He's a slave. Who cares?
It's true, if we told him to come back, he might do it.
Yeah, you never gave permission to die.
For the record, John, why is Plug so awesome?
Okay. The voice, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Stephen.
Do the voice. Do the voice.
Right, I'm gonna go with the obvious and definitely say the blacksmith. Hands down.
Alright. Dave.
Before Wreckage died, I would go for the blacksmith. After Wreckage dies, I'd actually want a revival of Jacques Orville the Redenbacher.
No way.
Considering that he is back into an NPC, right?
Or is he? Next
God.
week, Thomas returns!
Oh no.
God.
Okay, that's it, I'm out.
Shoot ourselves.
Bye, guys.
Asparagus!
Alright, and Doug.
Is Magneto on the table?
I don't recall him appearing in this campaign.
Oh, that's a shame. Because I only really got in for the Keep of the Shadowfell, so there wasn't that many NPCs I interacted with. There would be some interesting repartee between Nick and that waitress barmaid, I suppose.
Never could remember her name. I still don't.
She has a name.
Oh, and as Winter, I think Ninaron would be a nice choice.
Alright, I could understand Ninaran. Why the innkeep?
'Cause I like it when Coltane gets made a fool of.
Fair enough.
I could see them engaging in a sort of romance, and like mid-coitus, she'd be like, "Say my name," and he'd be like, "Stacy."
Did
No.
you seriously say coitus?
Yes.
I
Kids
don't even know what to
listen to
say
this
to you
show.
anymore.
I sincerely hope Doug watches The Big Bang Theory.
Me too.
I think I've seen the first 2 seasons.
Okay, that's good.
Alright,
Do they
next
say
question. Sheldon says coitus.
Well, they all do. Some.
Yeah,
good
especially
word.
Wallowitz.
Alright, next question is a loaded one. Nick, I'm gonna ask you first. If you can go back in time and undo something, what would it be? Why? And would you actually do it? So, if you had the power to. Obviously within the campaign. Because I'm just forestalling Doug's answer of something in the 3rd grade or whatever.
Alright, I'd go back to the very beginning, to the very first session, and when I met Jacques, Orville, Erebit, the Red, blah blah blah, I would not agree to go adventuring with him.
So that answers one of the 3 questions. The, as obvious as it may be, why?
Because he was annoying. I mean, yeah, he was annoying. I know there are actually a few people out there who kind of liked him or didn't find him annoying, but he was annoying. And his character, he was useless. He set a forest on fire, or tried to, and that's it.
Pure gold, that is.
And what was part 3?
I guess it's irrelevant at this point. It's would you actually do it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Alright, John.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it would be the suggestion to go back into the slime room. I think we could have saved the session if that never happened.
But it gave me the chance to experience the slime, which I hadn't encountered before.
Well, you could just tell Dick to explain it to you.
Or you could have watched the session on YouTube.
Or that, yeah.
Who says I didn't?
Actually, you're probably the only person here, or the only player here that maybe listens to some of the sessions.
Some of my friends demanded I give them links so they could listen to me save the day. Oh, that was humiliating.
Alright, Steven.
I don't even actually remember half the things we did. Or I did
You
for
were
that
here.
matter.
Because you weren't there for half the things we did.
I know. 43. It's my magic number. Because 4
How
and
about
3
that
is 7.
time you went in to save Zook?
Oh, God, that...
How about half the things you did, period, to initiate all those combats?
The one with those coffins or sarcophagi.
The coffins, the zombies, everything. The
Okay,
rats, the
zombies
slimes.
wasn't so bad. Opening those other things and getting all the skeletons and stuff was probably my worst decision ever.
So would that be the one thing you would go back in time and change?
Yes. Oh, definitely. Because that was a... Oh, I didn't even need to do that. That was... That's what happens when I'm not thinking, which surprisingly happens a lot.
Surprisingly?
Oh, not surprisingly, it happens a lot.
There we go.
Very rarely do I say something that makes sense or do something logic.
Okay, so you answered the what. What about the why? Why would you change that?
That was just like, I didn't want to get ganked. I mean, we just fought zombies. I don't think it was the smartest idea to get into another fight.
Alright,
Especially
Dave.
if I'm, useless.
Can we say that like what we want to redo would be like something retroactive, like we know what happens, and like,
LOLWUT question mark?
No, well, because the thing that I would say we would want to redo would be instead of killing Ninaran, we could have maybe, like, knocked her out and then avoid the...
Oh yeah, you can definitely say that, yeah.
Okay, well then I would do that, like not kill her but knock her unconscious, because then, with all the wind tear stuff, all the awkward moments of silence when we're like, oh yeah, your cousin.
It's like you slept
That
together.
would have been help.
I tried to be honest.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. And Doug?
Well, there's two events in my short part in this campaign that really get to me. The first, I guess, was Sir Keegan. I really wish we could have passed those skill checks, which would have unlocked a lot more of the story to the campaign and just all that delicious information which they went to so much trouble to write and get paid for, and just by some unlucky dice rolls we missed out on. But that being said, by failing those, we were able to unlock Wreckage's alter ego. So it was sort of, you take the good with the bad on that one. The decision or the event I guess that I really regret is that stupid trap room where everyone drowned. I would just make us all go into the trap together or something, instead of everyone dying and the rest of us waiting on the side not doing anything. 'Cause that was dumb.